Top of the morning to you.
You know, you just don't look much like any paddy I've ever seen before.
Man, you ain't never heard of no Black Irish.
And of course, there is the Black Irish, the Black Scots, the Black Saxons, and so forth. A lot of these ancient or surnames come from our people, from Britain, British Isles, or Europe, Germanic tribes. But it states O'Malley is an ancient Irish clan. Anytime it denotes to ancient, it's always referring to people of color or so-called black. Reading on, name coming from the Gaelic O'Malley, originally from County Mayo, and is thought to derive from he Celtic word for chief Maglos. So the ancient Celts with a K were people of color, swarthy, etc. Okay, even the Black Irish, the ones that were deported to the Jamaica and Caribbean islands, they had Irish surnames. So oftentimes, I mean, if you really do some diligent research, your last name or surname does not come from Caucasians. We have to get this concept of this is a white man's name and, etc. These names are ancient and they come from our people. Reading on, it has retained the original O, unlike most other original Irish surnames, and can be traced back to the 10th century. So now we're in the book Ancient Modern Britons, Volume 1, and it states, Scotland was overrun and in one district by Moors of the 15th century. Now we all should know what Moors means. It means a so-called black man or woman, or AKA the blue man. Reading on, but 5 centuries earlier, the kings of Alpin were Moors, and one of the most celebrated of these, Kenneth, or the N-word, or Dub, ruled over certain districts known as the 3 black divisions. Now, what are the 3 black divisions? Number 1, England. Number 2, Northern Ireland. And number 3, Scotland / the Wales. Okay, those are the 3 black divisions. Now, you wonder why we have these Welsh, Saxon, different English, Old English names, okay? It makes sense, right? Reading on, how long before and after that the ascendancy remained with his swarthy nation? There's that word again. Swarthy means what? Dark complexion or dark skin people. Reading on, and what were the probable fluctuations of color throughout the island, it is impossible to ascertain and premature to discuss, but at any rate, the Moorish races, there's that word again, Moorish races, okay, Nec Fosso Numen Pictos were among the chief opponents of the Romans when they marched through Britain 1800 years ago.
Black Irish.
That's right. Who you think invented the Macria? Lucky Charms? Huh? Shamrock Shake? That's ours.
Give me your papers.
What?
Your papers.
Let me tell you something. You got a whole bunch of nerve to ask me about my doggone papers. My family suffered, man, for lack of potatoes, foot and mouth disease, canker sores, circumcision.
Circumcision.
That's right. My wife just had a set of twins, man. They both leprechauns.
Leprechaun.
Get a whip. Irish Spring. And you'll bleed that, you can wipe your ass with a 4-leaf clover.
So now we're on page 163, the value of surnames, and it states, British octoroons have done likewise, with the result, in either case, that the far down posterity of the Negro or Moor, there's that word again, would be so white that no ethnologist could detect the presence of any other blood. And yet, in both cases, the male descendants would bear the surname first given to their remote authors, a surname signifying the black man. There you go. So they have our names, they have our surnames, okay? I mean, I don't know how much to get more plain and simple than that, okay? History is not what we've been told. Reading on, the fact is that most of our surnames are so old that while they argue with considerable force that this or that man is descended from such and such a race, meaning what, a seed line, they give us no help in finding out the predominating blood. Reading on, nevertheless, the names exist, and with those of the topography and of usage already quoted, and with many a record in written and oral history, they emphatically tell us of a large section of our ancestry and whose complexion was black.